Duran Premium Cigars, one of the fastest-growing boutique cigar companies, provides smokers a portal into the old Cuban tradition of the perfect balance and the lost art of progressive flavor construction. Roberto Pelayo Duran began his career in tobacco over 2 decades ago in Havana, where his reputation grew within Cuban circles. The creation of Duran Premium Cigars has given Roberto the platform to introduce a series of cigars that offer the quality and construction that he perfected while in Cuba. Brands include the ultra-premium Roberto P. Duran signature line, Azan, Nea, and Baracoa. Duran uses a seed to humidor approach, as all of their tobacco is grown in their farms and rolled in their factory in Esteli, Nicaragua. Rollers have been carefully chosen to carry out Roberto's precise method to ensure progressive flavor in each cigar. Duran Premium Cigars invites you to make their premium your standard.
Welcome back to the Stogie Geeks Show. This is the Stogies of the Week segment. I am your host this week, Joe Hozempa. To my right is Joe D. And we are talking a little bit about the sticks that we have been smoking. I got some that have a little bit of star power.
Okay.
And I got some that have been apparently sued by other cigar companies in their creation. You know what I mean? And I don't know, and I love
full disclosure.
We got a little bit of time here, so I want to, since it's a day of reflection theme, I want to let you know I want to ask you this. By the way, this is off the cuff. I am asking Joe D this his first time, and then he can think about it, and then I'm going to tell you my process.
Okay.
Sticks of the week.
Yep.
Right? I don't know about you, but life moves pretty fast.
Yeah, it does.
And the weeks fly by.
Yep.
Correct? Okay, we're in agreement. I want to know your process from stick, try, thought process to how you come to your conclusions over there. I'm going to tell you mine, right?
Do it.
First,
Yep,
okay?
yep.
First things, I go to a bunch of different shops just like you.
Yep.
I don't know if you've built relationships with the cigar shop owners where they're like, hey, try this, try this, try this,
Yep.
right? I have 2 cigar shop owners who always like to give me some new stuff, right? And I think they do it for plugs. Don't blame them. That's the way it should go, right? But they do it for plugs. And I get random, weird stuff from one. I mean, completely random.
You're the test subject. He wants to try it out.
Right. And I always get, he's like me. He's animated, so he's always like, Jojo, we got a story. This is a story. This is how I met this guy. This is where we get the cigar. And he knows I like the business perspective, so he always gives me like the business analytical side, right? And then I get one from another cigar shop vendor who is by far complete Stogie geek.
Right.
Like, no question. Like, he knows blends, this, that, other thing. And some people think he's a pretty standoff guy.
Yeah.
Like, you actually get along with him? Like, nobody gets along with him in the industry.
Yep.
Reps can't meet with him in Rhode Island. He's by appointment. I walk in and, like, hey, Joe, how's it going? Right? And it's just funny. So, I get those coming in. Plus, Paul here goes through his process, and we have some sponsors and this and that, in there. So the sticks are coming in. But my actual process, right, is I've been going through since this show of trying to let things rest.
Yep.
Even though I'm not a fan of buying things and letting them rest. Right. I think that a product should be good out of the gate. Mm-hmm. Regardless of how much you spend on that. But from a consumer perspective, I think it should be, you should set your expectations.
Right.
You know what I mean? You buy a cigar that's $20, it best be ready to smoke.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And I know the whole resting thing, I get it, right? We hear it here on Stogie Geeks, we hear it. But I look at it like, would you buy a car, put gas in it,
and rest in the driveway?
And rest in the driveway? It should be there. When you go to a restaurant, you can't have that steak now. You put that steak in the to-go container, and tomorrow it's going to taste phenomenal.
Yep.
I don't know about you, but when I eat a steak, I like to eat the whole steak right then and there.
Yep.
But I've been learning a lot, and one of the things that I've been learning and is the rest period and how important that is. And so I'm trying to review my sticks that I've reviewed in the beginning, and let's face it, I really give out higher ratings.
The revisit,
right?
There's nothing wrong with that. That's
and then
half the fun, man.
doing the revisits there. So in the next couple of weeks,
Absolutely.
I'll be getting some revisits because I have some stuff that have been rested.
Beautiful thing.
But I will tell you that maintaining a humidor is not easy.
No.
You know what I mean?
Nope.
You know, I go back. You know, go back on the Stogie Geek episodes. By the way, you can catch all the past episodes, StogieGeeks.com. But you know, you go there and you review.
Yep.
And you know, the stuff is amazing how it can keep. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And whatnot. I'm used to, you know, sticking it into a one of the humidors of a cigar shop owner, letting them deal with it. But you know, they're like, okay, now it's getting, you know, you have onesie, twosie, sure, but now I'm getting, you know, because I'm buying stuff that I want to sit on and try.
And it's fun to see where that rating is maybe 6 months out. After it's, like I said, a little bit of age.
Right.
Let it run. Yep.
So my actual process is I grab the stick. However I get a hold of it, I've given a lay of the land, and I take a picture of it with my cell phone.
Yep.
And I take a picture of the label, okay? And I do have an app. You're supposed to take a picture of the cigar. It has a cigar thing.
Yep.
Half the cigars are smoke not in there, right? So technology, app.
It failed you on this.
If it doesn't work, it's gone from the phone. You know what I mean?
Yep.
I have like 3 apps on my phone. Actually, I probably have like 12. But, you know, a lot of people pay the birds and blocks and done. Like, you know, phones anyway, right? So I take a picture of it, and then I have it, right? And then if I'm like, I'm getting this. I'm getting leather.
Pique the interest. Yep.
If it piques my interest, then I research it when I'm about halfway done.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
And then I try to do that. Because when I give my assessment on the show, and I make the ever so eager attempt to not only pronounce, but to articulate what I'm tasting, which is not easy. No. I think pronunciation is harder, and articulation sometimes can be even harder, right? But, you know.
It's one thing with your friends.
Well,
another
for
thing
me,
when you got all these beautiful studio and the lights and live viewers checking it out. Yeah.
Well, for me, I've never had to articulate my smokes. It was always like, Jojo, what do you think?
Right.
There you go. Like, you know what I mean? We're done here. You know what I mean? Expert advice. For, you know what I mean? Make it a lot easier. Okay.
Set on the Lions.
Welcome to Stogie Geeks. This is a cigar. You like it?
Yep.
Don't like it? Okay. Next week, come back. Right? You know.
Yep.
You know. So and just trying to get into my head. That's jumbled as well. So that's my process. And then I always say to myself, I'm doing show prep on the weekend. I'm doing it on the weekend. I'm putting it in the wiki.
Yep.
Of technology, don't worry about what that is if you don't know. I'm still trying to figure that out, right?
Yeah, me too.
But we do have a wiki on Stogie Geeks. It gets posted over there, and I used to put it in there, and I'm gonna get more organized with that. There, you know, and try to come up with my pattern, especially now that I'm rounding I'm going to be into the co-host thing for Stogie Geeks for the fourth quarter. Like, I look at it from a business perspective.
Right. Yep.
I want to try to have like a Joe format of that's there. So that's what I'm trying to work on, like how I'm going to describe it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I guarantee you, you know, when I'm like, yeah, man, it's great. Like, you got to have this to believe me. If I like something, the world will know. If I hate something, the world will definitely know even more. But that being said, that's my process, if that makes any sense to you.
It does. Yeah,
okay.
It does.
What do you do?
For me, different ways of obtaining the sticks. Visit a ton of shops. I'm always seeking out new product. I'll get shipped off a stick here or there by reps in the biz or shop owners. I try and grab a couple right out of the gate. I like to smoke one, right off the truck, as they call it. It's green. It's brand, it's brand new. I want that perspective, and then I also try and age, age 1 or age 2 if I can, and come back and revisit after a little bit to compare it. I take a picture as well. Definitely the band. Maybe the burn rate, maybe a quarter of the way through. I want to see where we're at. I don't want to take too much time away with geeking out on the cigar, but I do keep a few little notes, flavors I'm pulling, burn rate, some different things in my phone, and then I normally transfer that to the trusty index card, a day or two before the show or day of the show for
day
jammed
or
up on
two.
on the weekend.
But to be organized like that,
That's not easy.
You know what I
Not
mean?
easy. And and do a little further research. Cigar Coop, Half Wheel on. I like to compare where I'm at with a few other reviews.
Sure.
And sometimes it's in line. Other times, I'm not experiencing the same, things they are, and that's fine. That's just my take. All the viewers out there, they have different takes from us as well, and that's also half the fun. But I don't spoil it. I don't check it out ahead of time. I want to extract my own process first, see where I'm at, and then I like to compare after. And
See, I don't look at a lot of the notes. I pull up the website of the cigar,
Yep.
do that research, go there, and then
while you're smoking.
No, if I like it.
Okay, I got
if
you.
I like
I got you.
it. Which, if you watch Stogie Geeks, Joe doesn't really like a lot. So,
on one hand, no.
but I just, I go through that process, because I don't want other people's thoughts in what I'm trying to get. You know what I mean? Like if I were to critique this here, we are smoking the Paul Gamarian,
Yes.
right?
Reserva exclusive.
Thank you.
Yep.
The Reserva Exclusiva. And again, looked it up on the website. You get Ecuadorian, Connecticut wrapper, Dominican binder, right? Some Ecuadorian fillers. Okay, great. It's a good cigar, right? Tasty. I can articulate to you that constructed, amazing, medium on the draw of smoke.
Yep.
Definitely box worthy. No question.
All day.
You know what I mean? No question. Leather component. Higher cedar, but when you retrohale, to me, mostly leather component.
Yep, agreed.
A little bit of sweetness.
Yep.
There you go. I don't know how I would come up with more than another paragraph for that.
Right.
You know what I mean? Some reviews.
Unless you're tapping keys for 10 minutes out, and then now you're not doing the proper justice to the stick as you're smoking it. I think more credence needs to be given to enjoying the cigar for what it is right then and there. That time period, maybe a couple little notes, but enjoy it, and then post cigar, then maybe you tie it all together and reflect on it for a full assessment. How some people after every draw they're tapping keys and listing out paragraphs.
Yeah.
That to me, I don't think you're.
Well, the feedback I'm getting. I have two people email me every week, right? Mm-hmm. And one of them hates it when I talk about anything but cigars, right? He gets like all riled up, right?
Was there a shoe notation in there?
Yeah, he says he hates it when I talk about tennis shoes and stuff, right? Which I don't even play tennis, right? But anyway, right? And then I have another one that says, Joe, I love when you tell me what you've done with the cigar, if you like it or don't like it, because there are you do active stuff with cigars. Golf
for sure.
I go down to Hilton Head every year, and we hop on those island bikes. You can only go 11 miles an hour. And some cigars can handle 11 miles an hour.
There you go.
Right? Other cigars with the short filler, you're gonna have cigar all over your face with the bike, over there. And I was trying to paint a picture for the viewer. So that's just my goal. Some of the listeners like it. If you have any feedback, joe@StogieGeeks.com. Also, if you listen to the other segment and you want to share any of your reflections as far as what the industry has opened up for you and stuff like that, joe@StogieGeeks.com. We'll get to that shared segment.
Love to hear that.
At some point. Love to hear some of the doors that could open. Like I said, I could sit here for 3 more hours and talk to you about stuff that we did, but Seven Dust was the most important thing. It was the most random.
One of my favorite bands. Yep.
Well,
right on par.
This cigar that I smoked, I was, to my amazement, was the official cigar from the LeBron James press conference when they won the NBA championship.
In Cleveland.
Right?
Yep.
In Cleveland, right? This is the Yaxa Ortiz YO cigar, okay? And with this cigar here, it has a Ecuadorian Ecuadorian. See what I said about pronunciation? Yeah. Ecuadorian Habano wrapper, Nicaraguan filler, and Nicaraguan binder. Okay? This here, to me, came across very sweet on the wrapper side, like you can tell. Yep. And the reason why you can tell is obviously before you light it, I kind of keep it in my mouth a little bit.
A little cold draw. Yep.
Yep. Do that there. And, came up a little bit, had some sweetness, but then the Nicaraguan component kicks in, and I am a big fan of Nicaraguan cigars there. I'm a big fan of blend. Tailors a little bit towards me, Nicaraguan Honduran, Nicaraguan Ecuadorian, then Nicaraguan.
Gotcha.
But I'm still a fan of that.
Yep.
Apparently, LeBron James whipped this bad boy out when he won. There's pictures all over the internet, and that I found from when I did the research on the cigar over there. So not too sure of the connection. Maybe he likes them. Maybe it was like, hey, man, why not you want to smell? Or maybe he just likes them and been somewhere. And again, it's one of those things that caters to the last episode. What if he walked into a local brick and mortar, liked it, or is friends with the guy, or a guy could be a season ticket holder? You never know.
Your forte. I want to hear where those sales are at.
Yeah, you never know. But in regards to the Yaxel Ortiz Toro, it was 6x52 was the size. It's available in a couple different sizes there. But I had the Toro 6x52. I gave it a 5. I gave it a 5. It's a good stick. If you see it, check it out. You know what I mean? You can smoke the same stick that LeBron James had when he won, if you're a fan.
There you go.
Moving on.
Nice. Smoked the Tatuaje Havana 6. I've always been a big fan of the small format, the Angeles 4.6 by 42. I've reached out for the larger ring gauge. To be honest, I haven't really seen it in many shops. The larger ring gauges, anyway. Ecuadorian Habano wrapper, Nicaraguan binder and filler. Smoked the Robusto 5x50, $6.25 price point, box of 24, 7 different sizes. I really enjoyed this stick. I give it a box split. I'm at Boxworthy all day for the small format. The burn rate, big smoke. Well, everything you want in a cigar was there. It just, for me, I had to put it one notch below where I'm at with the small format. But the same wood, earth, spice, leather, ton of flavor in this thing. Everything that I seek out, and solid stick though. The Tatuaje Havana 6.
Mm-hmm. Get that locally?
Yeah.
Tatuaje Havana 6.
Boulevard cigar.
What's the label color on that?
It's red with the white fleur-de-lis going around the band. It's
I always try to like when I
simple band. Early in my smoking career, I was going through boxes that I purchased online. I know it's kind of taboo, but at that time, that's where I was at. And the small format, it's tailor-made for at work, or you're not tied to the stick for an hour and a half. It's a good, the small format, good 20, 30-minute stick, and this format played well. The larger ring gauge played well, just like it, but one step behind. That's where I'm at.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So you gave it a 5.
I get a 5.
Gave it a 5.
Yeah.
You bring up an online component there, right? You cannot be attached to anything, okay? Anything in that you're addicted to.
Right.
And count on retail to provide all aspects.
Right.
Those days are, I don't want to say impossible, but for them to hold that type of inventory and go through that notion
it's madness.
Where I'm anti-online is when a company would bang on a door of a local retailer and sell it for X amount, and then that same stick is available there. I'm in for a little bit of price protection.
Right.
Price equalization.
I got you.
From the consumer perspective.
Right.
To protect the local brick and mortars. Because if you don't protect the local brick and mortars, there will be less brick and mortars. That's the way it goes.
Price them right out.
Right?
Yep.
Just like if I take a sip of this Bacardi, there will be less Bacardi.
Down the hatch.
Observe, right?
That is not water right there.
So that being said, right? So that being said, it's one of those things where online I think can enhance the experience, because even if you're into, say, a sport, right? If you're a child, start you have a child, they play sports, and you can't go to your local retail and get all the equipment that they need. You have to go to some sort of specialization. Wait a minute, semicolon. As you get better at that sport.
Gotcha.
You see what I'm saying?
Yep,
so it's the same thing that they're saying. As you smoke more and more cigars and you do research, I went through a point in my cigar journey, right, where I started naming cigars that I like to an owner, and the owner turned around and says, "Seems to me like you like a roller." I'm like, "Well, what do you mean?" That was early on, right? Years ago. I'm like, "Well, what do you mean?"
Excuse me?
I'm like, "You mean to tell me that this guy rolls this guy stuff too? Really?" I was like, "That's crazy." And he's like, "Yeah, he rolled blah, 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 and went down and went down the line." And the cigar shop owner told me that you're tending to go, and this is total, I don't want to say ignorance, but I guess you could say ignorance of a lack of knowledge.
Well, it's a learning process
At the time.
Yeah.
But I was naming random cigars too. Like they were all over the map. And then come to find out there. So again, you would find out for the journey. Well, what are you going to do? Any type of person who wants to get more experience, something, you start experiencing what else is that roller, and that might be prominent in another region.
Right.
You're not going to hop in a car and drive to Oregon. You know what I mean? You're going to order online and then do that there. So that's kind of my stance. They call it price protection within the industry. I think it's important for them to do it. But anyway, I digress. Sure. I had the Christoph 685 Woodlawn.
Oh,
right?
Yes. Unicorn.
Unlike yours, was not gifted to me.
Oh.
Right? Well, unlike yours, was not gifted to me. This is only available in the Perfecto shape. In the Perfecto shape, which is 6.5 by 60. It has a Brazilian wrapper, Nicaraguan binder, and Nicaraguan with Dominican fillers.
Right.
Different shape.
Yep.
Tapers off, it's smaller, and then it gets a little fatter, and then smaller again.
Yep.
But, it has a Perfecto shape. Really interesting smoke there. Very interesting on how the name came out of 685 Woodlawn.
Yep.
Maybe we'll let Jared, next time he comes on the show, divulge that. But,
fair enough.
But, it's amazing. But let me tell you something. Between a couple episodes back when we had Christoph on and we were talking about the super fight,
right,
we had the TAA from Christoph. And it's given me a whole different take on some of their stuff. That they're great sticks. I get a cedar component from that.
Yep. I
get a little bit of a leather component from that.
Yep.
Well, I don't know if it was highly pronounced. It wasn't as pronounced as this for sure.
Right.
And I get a well balanced stick that is really, really enjoyable. And apparently, it's not readily available in a bunch of shops.
No, it's not.
So different shops have to either get to a certain level or however that matrix works.
Seek this thing out.
Yes.
Seek it out.
That's my point. So if you come across in your local brick and mortar shop, Christoph 685 Woodlawn, give it an absolute get them. They're amazing sticks. Apparently, there's not a lot of them. Not all retail shops have them. They have to get to a certain level in order to get them. There's one around that does. Email joe@stogiegeeks.com if you want one. I could point you in the right direction.
There you go.
Right?
I know a guy.
But I know a guy. Welcome to Rhode Island.
Yeah.
Right? But, because of its mystique, see, I often wonder, knowing this before I smoke it, is it even more with this? Because I did go through this.
Will it live up to the hype?
I did go through this with Mike Bellady.
Right.
Full disclosure, Mike Bellady sponsored my radio show when I was on the air for radio there. And
MLB Cigar Ventures?
He did the Funtador when he originally launched the Humidor, and that was the one that he passed out at events, and you couldn't buy it, right? And it was like, people were like, the Funtador is an amazing stick, it's an amazing stick, you know? So I wonder if it had some of that mystique there. I try to put that aside. I think I did a very good job with that, putting that aside. That being said...
Where were you when you smoked it?
Where was I? I was at a cigar shop.
Okay. I didn't know if you had special players.
You got yours gifted to you, right? You got yours gifted to you.
I reached out for this one. I tried everything else in the Christoph line, and I wanted this special unicorn. I know I couldn't find it anywhere else. I tried to get my hands on it, and yep.
Yeah, and so that being said, in regards to the stick itself, okay, I gave the stick a box split. And the reason why I gave it a box split is because it only comes in a box of 10, and you should not buy all 10 because someone else might want to buy all 10. So, but if you want to be selfish, it definitely is. It's box worthy all day. It's 100% box worthy. It's a box worthy stick. I'm trying not to be around the bush. It's box worthy.
I'm selfish
great
on
stick.
These.
They come individually, cedar lined.
Oh yeah.
With in the box. Box presentation's amazing. It's a great stick. 685 Woodlawn by Christoph. I gave it a box split.
Nice.
Or a box split with a friend if you don't want to be selfish, but that's on your conscience, not mine.
Next, I smoked the Oscar 2012 Connecticut. Previously smoked the Maduro and the Corojo. This is the last of the three that.
That's the one that has a wrapper on
yellow.
it?
It's got a.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. The 2012. Yep, gotcha. Again, I was trying to do a visual.
Yeah.
Got it. Yep.
Connecticut wrapper, Honduran binder, Honduran and Nicaraguan filler. $8.50 price point. Box at 20, 4 different sizes. The box press format. I smoked the Toro, the 6x52, and excited to try this stick. I gave it a 5. For me, it didn't pronounce itself as any more special than a lot of the other Connecticut's that are out there. It was an enjoyable stick, a lot of smoke, great burn rate, all the X factors you want. It just lacked a little something for me. Significance of the 5-year anniversary of Oscar being in business, and Valadares factory in Danley, Honduras. That's where I'm at, 5.
Yeah.
The Oscar Connecticut 2012. And I'm right on point with the other 3 in the
You had the Habano
as well.
red label, right? Habano red label?
Corojo and Maduro.
Yeah, the Corojo and Maduro. Okay.
Yep, I'm right in line with
Corojo was the best one, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would say that. Yep.
Yeah.
Right on point there. A 5 across the board. Not a bad stick, just not one that it's going to force me to seek out. If I happen to see it in the future, so be it.
Yeah, box split Connecticut. That's,
Yeah.
because of its box split, I expect it to be a little bit stronger. You know, they say, in theory.
Box press?
Box press, yeah, box split. That's what it is. So rum. Right?
The rum, sir.
Right. No, I think, I expected it to be have a little bit something behind it, but it's okay.
For legit Connecticut fans out there like Paul, I wonder if Paul Asadorian's had that stick as well. For me, it just lacked a little something. I was left wanting a little bit more.
How was it towards the end? Did you find it to fade? I found it to just fade.
It was consistently meh.
Yeah. Okay.
That's it.
All right. Let's talk a little controversy. Right? This is I got to read this stuff because the first couple sentences this is crazy. Right? I was like, really?
Hold the phones.
Because when I first heard about it, I was like, that sounds like counterfeit. You know what I mean? I smoked a Nat Chico Anniversario 1965 Liga number 4. What?
That's a mouthful. Yeah.
I will repeat that. It's a Nat Chico Anniversario 1965 Liga number 4. Now, Well, but before I get into a blend, right? It says two of the most. This is just a quick read. Two of the most popular cigars on the market: the Padron Anniversary 64 and Liga Privada number 9. Switch a couple numbers around, squish them together, and that's what you get. The Nat Chico Anniversario Liga number 4. And at least that's what the name implies. And then it goes on to say, and I will post this up there, how there was a little bit of lawsuit, and I am going off of Cigar Review on Stogie Guys, right? Because I had to figure out what this was, because when I Googled the stick, going through my research, all these lawsuits come up, and I'm like, oh, this is great. It's gonna be Italian. Right? It's an Italian stick, right over there. And then it goes into there, and I'm not dirtying anybody else's laundry. However, let's talk blend of the cigar, all right? So I will post that over on the wiki, and you can check that out. It'll be posted. You go to StogieGeeks.com, click on the Facebook page. The link to the wiki will be there. Or you can email me, joe@StogieGeeks.com, and I'll forward that link over to you over there. But in regards to the blend, the blend is the wrapper is Ecuadorian Habano, binder and filler is Nicaraguan. And let me tell you, leather component, sweet component in the beginning.
Yep.
Well constructed. A little small on the size.
Okay.
Like a little small on the size. That they have different sizes there. I'll get to that right as soon as the web catches up. Right. But it's not a bad stick. Right. It's not a bad stick. Googling these.
Never heard of
it. Me neither. Is supposedly they're sometimes hard to find. Supposedly that they're considered knockoffs,
Yep.
and whatnot. You can go there. If you go to Nat Chico's website, they make a bunch of different other cigars as well. So they're obviously been around for some time. If that is their MO, then, so be it. That's between them. But in regards to the size, I had both the Robusto and I had the Toro. Comes in 3 different sizes,
Okay.
Robusto, Toro, and Churchill.
Yep.
But I was able to get my hands on the Robusto and the Toro. Let me tell you something. It is not a bad smoke. At first, I get very hesitant when this certain person hands me cigars, right? But, in regards to the actual size there, the Robusto is 5 by 50 I'm sorry, it's 5 by 52
Yep.
is the size. So, like I said, I don't know if it's rare. I don't know if it's a rare blend, but in all my cigar journey, which has been over 17 years in experience, in and out of cigars, with and without a cigar shop, with and without a cigar show, with and without being co-host of Stogie Geeks with you here, I've never heard of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I've never heard of it. So first thing I asked, and they're like, try it. And when I saw the name and the band it's suspect when it comes to some copyright things, but they have 4, 6, 8, 12, 16, 18 other lines. And I'm gonna go on treasure hunt.
There we go.
You know what I mean? Because I liked it enough. Now I'm getting to the rating, but I'm painting the picture, right? I'm painting the picture like it's I never reviewed a stick to the level that we have to for Stogie Geeks, but I've never reviewed a stick and found controversy over it. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Over there. And let me tell you something. I'd give it a box split.
Nice.
I would give it a box split. I don't know if they ever won the lawsuit. I didn't do that much research there, but I definitely would give it a box split if you see it. It's a Nat Chico. It's roaming around.
It's worth a peek for sure.
Yeah, for sure. It's just interesting.
That particular rating.
It's just interesting. It's an interesting smoke, and what I like about it is for the reasons why I give most of the box split. It has an old school flavor. You know, I'm into the new school. Believe me, I love some of the new sticks that come out, but it does have an old school flavor. You know that old school tobacco I'm talking about?
Yep.
That's there. That is the Nat Chico Anniversario 1965 Liga number 4.
Solid.
It's crazy. You can just tell it as copyright. We're reading it like, what?
Currently smoking the Carrillo Reserva, Connecticut, and this thing is creamy and delicious.
That is.
It smokes like a nice classic Connecticut. It's pretty solid. My next stick I reviewed, the Letelier Extension de la Racine ER13. It's a second take on the Racine from Letelier. Smoked the Racine a year or two ago. Didn't move the needle at all. And I happen to be a big fan of Casey Johnson and Letelier. In particular, the La Mission that he makes. But this stick, however, this did move the needle. Nicaraguan sun-grown Criollo, Nicaraguan binder and filler, 9 1/4 price point, box at 20. Smoked the 5 7/8 by 52 Robusto Extra. This stick for me is a box worthy all day. Cedar, spice, floral notes, which I like in particular, and ramps up on the back third in a good way. It just caught my attention. Smoked it on the deck, perfect weather. This thing, it all came together nice. And 90 minutes of cigar smoking time. Racine translates to root, and it's a medium full. Great stick. The Letelier Extension de la Racine ER13. Definitely get your hands on that and give it a try.
And would you give it?
I give it a box worthy all day.
Box worthy.
Yeah. Day and night compared to the former Racine that came out. It's the slant of my friend KC in the biz, but I reached out to him immediately upon smoking it and said, "You got a winner here. This is it's the real deal, night and day from previous offering."
I think they're gonna be making a move as well. You know,
Casey Johnson, of course, the brother of Pete Johnson, Tatuaje, and
yeah, I think they're gonna. They're in my opinion. I think they're poised for growth.
Yep.
I think they got some good sticks. They got some good history and heritage and talent behind them.
Yep.
I think we're going to be seeing, or we should see a lot more from them.
for all the stock guys out there trending upward.
Yeah,
sure.
but there has to be a component because you got to bring awareness to the you got to bring awareness to the brand. You know what I mean? Brand awareness in this biz is mission critical.
Yep.
You know, some companies focus more on brand awareness than they do product development.
Yep.
But again, you know, I think that they're poised for growth. That we're going to be seeing some.
They're doing it the right way too. Slow, methodical, growing the.
If you can do that,
brand.
I mean, that's why I love when we interview.
Right.
You know, to try to get that business transaction to find out because you know in business it's easy. You can go long, you can go wide.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
Some companies, CLE, go wide. They just, you know what I mean?
Yep.
And some like to want to go long. La Aurora, where like we're going to go into depth and perceive the depth. And not only are we going to get into the depth, we're going to provide something for everyone. We're going to provide the $20 especial smokes or everyday smokes, but not to the common person.
Right.
But special smokes for a special occasion if they want it there, and we're going to cater to the lower price point and make the lower price point cigar good. And you know it's no testament to one brand blend over another. It's just how they choose to do business. You know what I mean? It's how you choose to do business, which I think is just fascinating. You have another one? I have another one, but you can go, then I'll go.
Dude, the recently smoked the Hit and Run by Matt Booth, the collaboration of Matt Booth and Robert Caldwell.
Oh, good. That'll be a transition because I'm sure your description will be a little bit more articulate than mine, and then I'll throw in my 2 cents.
This is an absolute special cigar. In particular, the 6x46 Corona Gorda. Ecuadorian Habano wrapper, Indonesian binder, Dominican filler, $11 price point with 5 sizes. And once again, the the flavor profile hit me head on. Haze, spice, and graham crackers. Now the graham cracker description, I have yet to find that in any particular cigar. Figured different other reviewers that were throwing it out there, totally full of it. Not in this case. This thing hit me head on, and graham crackers all day. Delicious stick. 90 minutes of smoking time, medium plus, and give it a fight, Chuck Norris. Chuck Norris is catching an ass whooping on this one. I love this particular stick, and the particular shop, Joyles, that I purchased the first one at. I called back immediately upon smoking this. I wanted to buy up greedily the rest of the sticks. They were already gone.
Yeah.
And this is 2 hours after purchasing the stick. So
You need some? I know a guy.
really, let's go.
I know a guy.
Take these off.
I know a site. Again, I had, just reiterating your talking points,
Yep.
we're on the Caldwell hit and run.
Yep.
I had 6x46 size, and I also had the 54x6 size there. Ecuadorian Habano wrapper, Indonesian binder, Dominican fillers. This cigar got a high rating from me, but for different reasons than you.
Okay.
I read about the graham crackers, okay? I was trying to picture it in my head of what am I tasting that is so different about this cigar, right? Because I like it because, first of all, it's so smooth. It's mild, right? It's ranked mild medium.
Right.
It's if you're new to cigars, you might say medium. If you're not new to cigars, or if you tend to smoke on the stronger profile, this will be a good mix for you. This will be a good change for you.
Yep.
Right? It's not flavored graham crackers, but it's something that's different. I am not going to look Stogie Geek listener in the camera and look you in the eye and say, I fully taste graham crackers, but I fully taste something different. Right?
Absolutely.
And what I like about that
Is that
stick,
a cool thing?
more importantly, what I like about that stick is that we didn't give it rest. Right? So think about that. So this is my point of why it got such a higher rating, because when collaborations come out, in theory, okay, so I don't need that much hate mail this week, right?
Take it easy.
I always get more email whenever I'm just a straight host, probably because I talk more, right? And they're like, that Joe, man, right? but in theory, right, a collaboration
Good point.
would come out business-wise and come right on the shelves, right? So let's talk about that, right? You talk about the collaboration, right? We discussed the blend. We discussed the flavors that we're going to have. Joe had already given a higher rating on this cigar. We know I'm going to give a high rating on this cigar because I'm taking the time out to articulate to that. But right out of the gate, it's ready to smoke. Other stuff from even that very same company, either one, pick one, part of the collaboration.
Right.
I'm not going to finger point,
right?
Like I said, pick a side, any side, pick color, any color, right? Conceptually, when they've come out with stuff new, it needed to rest. And what I like about that stick is that if it's that good outside of a rest, can you imagine how it would be after it's rested in the humidor?
Get your hands on it today.
So that being said,
My God.
I gave it box worthy.
Yep.
Right? I gave it box worthy. But that was my first impression. The first impression of the cigar when I smoked it was, number one, what am I tasting? Because this is completely different. Now from doing research, obviously, now you know my methodology from doing. You would think, oh wow, I did my research. I'm like, it's got to be the Indonesian binder, right? So of course I say, what the heck else have I smoked that had an Indonesian binder? Things come up, and I'm like, hate it. Don't. Right. So like, what am I tasting? And then you're articulating about the graham crackers. It's amazing taste analogy. It's something. There's something there that, I mean, let me tell you something.
I didn't think it was possible. For my for my palate, there's certain things that I can't pick up. Other people do. That's, God bless them. I have never been able to pick that up on other sticks that supposedly, you were able to graham cracker or various other flavors. And this thing hit me right between the eyes. And,
Yes.
There's no mistaking the flavor point,
Yeah, it's a great stick. If you happen to come across it, like I said, Joe D, Fight Chuck Norris, Joe H, Boxworthy, all day. Great stick.
I do want to try the other sizes, see where they're at.
I tried. Well, I tried the 6x46,
Okay.
and I tried the 6x54. 6x46 where it's at.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Again, that's one of the things that this show has taught me is the smaller sizes. I was always a Toro guy.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
And from things that I've learned from this show is that some cigars are meant for a specific size.
Right.
Now, whether I liked it, if it was meant for Toro, but they put it in other ones,
Yep.
others blend for the size itself, right? That being said, pre-Stogie Geeks, I've always just went to Toro. I figured, I was never gotten into the bigger ring gauges. I never liked it.
Right.
I've had bigger ring gauges, just not a fan.
I think a Toro Robusto, you should be safe, middle of the road.
Right, but I would never get in the Robusto.
Meant for the masses.
Because, I would spend a couple hours in the cigar shop, and I don't want to smoke three. You know what I mean? I'll smoke a Toro and then a Robusto.
Right.
Or two Toros at a time or whatever. So that was just my methodology for years. And, again, the smaller size is just an amazing stick. It's a Caldwell, hit and run. If you find it, grab it. If you've had it, email us. I'll share the information with Joe and Paul as well. If you like it, Joe H at StogieGeeks.com.
Nice.
I guess I'll go. Southern Draw, Jacob's Ladder, Toro. That is 6x52. It uses a broadleaf wrapper from Pennsylvania. Fillers are from Nicaragua. They include Lajero from Esteli. And also this very rich, complex, full-body cigar.
Yep.
However, with the Southern Draw profile, I'm kind of leaning towards the delivery on my palate for the Rosa Sharon, right?
Yep.
I don't know what it was. Is it available in a smaller size? I didn't do that research. I figured I would just ask you.
Toro Gordo Robusto right now.
Toro Gordo Robusto. I'd love to get my hands on a Robusto because I think the Robusto would bring out maybe some of those components.
Yep.
Gordo, Paul has given us some Gordos to smoke. You've had one, that 54 thing.
Yep.
I haven't even touched it.
Yep.
I'm like scared of it. It's in my humidor. And I look at it like, oh my God, what am I going to do with this thing? It's like a 70 ring gauge. Is that what it is?
Yeah.
I'm like, you gave it a higher rating, but I'm like, oh, I'm going to smoke it next week. Yeah, no. I'll smoke it next week. No. 2 weeks go by because last week was Labor Day. No, I haven't smoked it. I'm like afraid of this thing, So yeah, if I could get my hands on a Robusto, where can I get one locally? Like a local Robusto? Are they out yet or not yet?
So right now, all the shops that are taking orders, they're all migrating towards the larger ring gauge.
Of course they are. Okay.
So
great. When you get your hands on a Robusto, let me know.
I'll have some Robusto.
All right, we'll do it that way.
My own personal orders, and
because I I'd give it a 5. Right, it's a good smoke. I gave the Rosa Sharon a little bit higher.
Yep.
I liked the delivery of the Rosa Sharon. I thought it was well balanced. I didn't think that this one was unbalanced.
Yep.
I think the size. I don't know. I just thought the size. It just left me like it was very in your face.
It's an absolute.
It's a full body cigar.
Meaty, smoky beast, and so I'm about seven in so far, and with each one I smoke, I'm picking up different nuances, some mild sweetness throughout, and what I could say is try a few more, see where you're at, see if you're still at that rating. Mm-hmm. I personally rank the Rosa Sharon as the top of the line for sure. That's number one. That's in the one hole, and Jacob's Ladder is slowly working its way. Jacob's Ladder, climbing the ladder. It's working its way up.
Yeah.
Smoke a few more. You're gonna pick out a few more things, but it's It's unlike, for me, any other cigar that I've ever smoked. In terms of, it's a beast. It's in your face. Make sure you get a cheeseburger on board before you smoke it.
Yeah, it kind of palate-wise.
You're not going to start the day with this guy. It's going to put you down.
No, palate-wise, you gotta make sure you're ready to smoke a full body cigar. And I know sometimes I say on the show it's rated full. I'd give it a barely medium. I'd give it a strong medium or whatever.
Right.
You know, because I think that some of the ratings can, you know, when they say full. You know, some of the methodology there could, you know, I think if you've experienced smoker, you could be able to handle this. I think anyone could handle this cigar.
Right.
But you got to be prepared to have a strong cigar. You know, and that being said, I gave it a 5. I did the Rose of Sharon's awesome.
My opinion, it completes the flavor wheel, the profile wheel of the Southern Draw, top to bottom, and now you've got that legit full in the mix, and you know, there's certainly a demographic that craves those beast cigars, and this is going to be right in their wheelhouse, right in their wheelhouse for them. May not be for everybody, may not be for the fan of heart, but it can certainly be appreciated by everybody in the line.
Right, and that got released this year.
It did. Yep. IPCPR officially came out.
Okay, cool, perfect.
Nice.
Yeah.
Smoked the Zeno Platinum Z Class 546P.
Locally?
Yes. Yep. Mr. Cigar in North Providence.
Yep. You only in 1 or 2 places.
Dominican wrapper, Peruvian binder, Nicaraguan and Honduran filler. 5 1/4 by 46 pyramid shape. $11 price point with 4 sizes. I gave it a 5. Previous Zenos I've smoked, upper echelon. This is probably bottom of the line for the Zeno. In my opinion, it didn't jump off the page. Flavors of pepper and earth, but maybe with if it had a little bit of sweetness to balance out that flavor profile, it would have spoke to me a little bit more. But the price point of $11, I can't get past a 5 on this one. I don't know if you've had this.
I've had it. My guide. I'll give you. My
very solidly constructed and no issues there whatsoever. Just for me personally, the flavor profile and the price point. In being Zeno, I was expecting a little bit more. It left me at the 5 rating, which is not bad. I expected a little bit more.
You want a treat from Zeno? Taste of Texas. You ever have that?
Negative. No.
It's a good time.
There it is.
Taste of Texas. On your next day off or whatever, we'll go somewhere.
What's your rating on that?
My rating changes.
Okay.
And the reason...
Is that the one? It's like a $25 price point? Or?
Nah, off the top of my head, I think it's like 16.
Okay.
I think it's like 16.
Okay.
There. It changed for me. It's the first cigar that I've had, I don't want to say back-to-back, but let's say back-to-back within 2 weeks. And it did change.
For the better?
For the better.
Okay.
So when I first threw it up on there, I gave it a box split with a friend because they were a little expensive.
Yep.
I believe in not only
that certainly
the social experience of cigar, but sharing the financial burden with friends sometimes help boost up a rating.
And our ratings, we encompass not just the flavor profile, the availability, the sizes, the price point. You got to factor all those in. I do. I know you do. Paul does.
I try to. I try to look at it. When I give a rating, I try to look at from the consumer's point of view.
Absolutely.
Not my consumer's point of view, but the consumer's point of view. There's a lot of people out there who I know shops do phenomenally well with AJ Fernandez. You know what I mean? And I have spoken on this show about some of the opinions of some of the sticks there. It is what it is.
Right.
But I try to look at it objectively and
broad scope.
And the reason being is because you and I are sitting in the brick and mortar shop and we're hearing what people say.
Yep.
I like the cigar, but jeepers crow, man, this thing's like, $12, $16, $8. Some people, oh my God, I can't believe this is an $8 cigar.
Right.
what are you smoking? I always ask people, what are you smoking?
All day. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Well, I'm smoking this and that. Have you ever smoked that? No. One of the reasons why I shied away from it was because it was $8. You know what I mean? Perfect example. Tabernacle. Right?
There you go.
I remember when they first came out across the hall. I'm not touching that. That's like, Umagog, another one, right?
Yep.
I'm not touching that. It's like $7, right?
Yep.
It's phenomenal, right? Am I shortchanging myself? No. I'm a consumer, just like the Stogie Geeks listener,
Right.
who's out there, and you look at some of the things, and price point is important. I don't care if you're selling wine racks or entertainment centers or mattresses or cigars. Price point is so important, and I think that here on Stogie Geeks, between Paul and myself and you, we try to deliver that all-encompassing review over there. I know Paul always mentions where we got it. Usually you mention the price.
Yep.
I mention the price in a roundabout way.
Yep.
I don't like to focus too much on that because you could have reviews based upon price in the price matrix. You know what I mean?
Right.
And whatnot. I base it on availability, story behind it.
Yep.
Price point is certainly, I think, is strong. And I don't think that enough cigar podcast focus on that.
Agreed.
But we have to choose where we spend our consumer dollars. It's reality. You know what I mean?
Yep.
We all can't just sit on the plantation and taste cigars all day. We have other stuff that we have to do, other financial responsibilities that we have to do, and that's why I think that, and that's one of the things, and I know we're doing a good job because the Stogie Geeks listeners are emailing me and they're telling me, saying, "Hey man, you're really delivering a good balance of that there." So
try and put forth a good, honest assessment, and let the consumers take it from there.
Yeah, try to taste of Texas. Zeno is, and again, it's one of those blends that they're up there in price.
Yep.
They do very well in other countries. You also got to look at that as well too.
Right.
That's big. You know what I mean? Like that's big. Like I can't tell a story without calling out someone. But a boutique blend came up 4 or 5 years ago that if I said it, you all would know. But it did so well outside of the country that it didn't matter what it did in the United States. And don't think that does not happen in a boardroom.
For sure.
For a cigar company, a big cigar company. You know what I mean? And don't think that there's other side of the fence of foreign, I say foreign, non-U.S., even though they're all non-U.S. I mean, like, for example, a Villiga, right?
Yep.
That has done very well with machine-made product and pipe tobacco for years.
Yep.
And they have such a market penetration outside of the U.S. that they're trying to come back in the U.S.
Yep.
Or when they tried to make the move here, at least here in the Northeast, right? That's a component as well.
Yep.
And I think that, wouldn't I like to be a fly on that wall? You know what I mean? Like during that board meeting. Okay, we're very successful in every country except for the United States. However, we're going to come up with these 5 blends, and we're going to market them in the United States. And we don't even know if they're any good. But however, we're going to I'd be like, whoa, time out. Right? Yep. That'd be like time out here. You know what I mean? Like, is there do you need a tax write-off? Or what's the methodology behind that? But there are other blends that, again, do very well outside of the United States. And when the boutique comes, they don't get such a response. A good response there, but they do get a good response in a foreign country, and I do believe, I believe in my business acumen, and I believe in my business assessment from the consumer that it is territorial. There are some blends that do very, very well. Like I have friends that
the Asian market in particular.
Sure, right, but even the below South Carolina market in cigars, which I know well from traveling up and down the East Coast for my job, like the boutiques are not. You walk into a brick and mortar shop, and like the boutiquiest cigar you're getting is like, so from our perspective, 2008.
Yep.
Or 2009. You know what I mean? They would never even, you know what I mean? And then they go out and vice versa. So I do believe it's territorial, which I think is fascinating.
It is.
You know, for sure. You know, you have any more cigars?
I just want to reiterate. So that was the Zeno Platinum Z-Class 546P. Last one was Todo Los Dias, All the Days by Dunbarton Tobacco and Trust. Finally got my hands on these guys.
Where did you get that?
Steve Saka. That was also at Joyle's. Mm-hmm. They were up in the counter. Grabbed a few different sizes. Very golfable sticks. Happened to play a little bit of golf the last 2 weeks and smoked these guys.
No tennis, just golf.
Just golf. Yeah. The golf game, the scorecard went up when I smoked these, so it's gonna be a staple. But 6.75 by 60 double wide Bellicoso, and I smoked the 475 by 45 half Churchill, both box worthy. I thoroughly enjoyed these sticks. Nicaraguan wrapper, Nicaraguan binder and filler, $11 to $13 price point, 10-count boxes, 7 sizes available, and pepper, chocolate, and leather. Solid golfable cigar again. I read something recently. They're likened to smoking a chocolate bar glazed in pepper.
Really? Yeah. And what was it again?
Total Los Dias.
Okay.
And
over there.
The two particular sizes
Across the way?
I smoked across the way.
I'm gonna go there. Yeah. I'm looking forward to that.
Really, everything you want. Big smoke, perfect burn line. Just you hold in your hand a very, very solid made cigar, ramped up in strength. It was just it was what I needed at the time while golfing, and very enjoyable. And even though you're golfing, sometimes you're not paying particular attention. I think I felt like I was in the zone smoking the cigar. It was just everything stood still. The shots I was making was perfect. And
take some time out besides cigars, right? I like to do that sometimes, right? I don't want to be getting email. Right? Where'd you golf?
I golfed Cranston.
Nice.
Where else was I?
Did you get a couple pars?
Couple pars, couple birds.
Nice.
Yeah.
I like it.
The golf game's rounded into shape. 7-iron off the tee. But, I put the driver away. I'm just hacking and whack it. I'm straight and playable. The cigar delivered perfectly.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'll have to use that.
Box worthy for both.
Yeah. What's the price point again?
$11 to $13.
$11 to $13. Okay, cool.
Yeah, and so obviously the price point's a little bit higher, but what you got out of it, it was an hour and a half all day smoking time, perfect burn rate, and extremely golfable. Mm-hmm. It was I like to soft toss it. I know that kills Paul.
What?
Paul's not a golf guy, so the soft toss when you're up to making the shot, the cigar just held true to form, smoked like a champ the entire way through. Mm. It was great. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good deal.
I golfed on Labor Day. I golfed the other day, Saturday, but I put the cigar like right in line with the tee. Mm-hmm. And my friend goes, "Cigar's a little close." I says, "Don't worry about it." Good.
I'm surgical.
We're good. I said, we're good. Fall golf, I love it. It's like just when you stop playing good golf because you've been playing all season here
right.
in the Northeast, it all comes to an end around Thanksgiving.
Yep.
It all.
That's when you migrate down to Florida. You're playing those trips to keep the season going a little bit.
When the weather breaks for you New Englanders, April, we hope. This year it was last week of April. I would never put a cigar near the tee in there, and I would probably be yelling for a lot more because it's going to go that way.
that way.
Every way but that way, right? So There you go. That being said, thank you for listening to the Stogie Geeks Show. Thank you, Joe D, for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening. Any comments, questions, email joeh@stogiegeeks.com. We'll see you next time. Thank you.